Hello and welcome to Pens, Paint and Whiskers. Today in Design an OC, Develop an OC, Part 3, that rhymes slightly, we're going to be finishing off my OC designs, and as promised, if you've been following along, I did state I would be clipping out a dressed kind of uniform design, and I would be hopefully sticking it in over this fella here, or working out how to stick it in, more's the point. And yeah, so this is my mostly completed page, and I'm just going to finish off and explain the process. So today I'm working in a A4, I'll take you up slightly, A4 Ohuhu 200 GSM marker pad. This marker pad it's a really good marker pad actually. I do love using it. It's designed for, yeah, as I say, markers, of course, being Ohuhu. But it also, I found it does take paint really well, and watercolours and gouache really well too. So yeah, a bit of a mixed media kind of thing going on there with it. Yeah, now, and the markers I am working with today are not Ohuhu. They are called Graphit. They are, I think, a French company. And they are, in my opinion, more or less as good as Ohuhu. And they seem to have colours that I often prefer over Ohuhu. As you can see, there's a lovely charcoal that I'm working Wren's hair and uniform and wings in. Ohuhu, well, they do have it, but I prefer the Graphit. It's a brush nib, and that's what the barrel looks like, and we have a fine nib as well, and I do like the fine nib a lot because sometimes with details like his hair, I'm not able to achieve that with Ohuhu, so that's why a lot of the time, sometimes when I'm working with hair and with clothes and things, I will use Graphit. I never work black. As you can see, part of the uniform, he does have quite a militaristic sort of uniform. Part of it obviously would be black. I don't work in black. Now some artists do, I do not. I'll only outline in black, and there's maybe one or two of my own characters that are fully, their skin tone is black. I would work them in it. I don't work anything else in it. I just think it darkens a piece or it muddies a piece. And I don't like that. Lots of artists do tell of the same woes with black, so I just avoid it. There's ways around that. I just use a charcoal grey, a really dark grey, as you can probably see here, because I don't want to lose warmth. I hope to build up in Wren. And yeah, so if you've been following along, you might notice he's got wings, and yeah, so he sort of got a lot of facial stripes, or they, I should say. I'm still not sure. Yeah, so they've got a lot of facial stripes and designs. I was thinking more about him. He is a Arrtx, a creature that I think would have a good, his powers would be intuitive, so that he potentially uses hopefully not getting too close to YouTube being cross with me. Hopefully I can get away with the fact that he uses entrails potentially to see the future. That would be his main power. His secondary sort of power would be that he can tell, sort of kind of telling the past normally with a character, potentially if he accidentally brushes up against them. So yeah, that's kind of his role, or his powers. I haven't done a side portrait of him, so I decided, yeah, I'll do a side portrait and give him his stripes. So he does have quite a masked appearance, and his facial sort of colours kind of lend it to, people would mistake his features for being sort of uplifted or up tilted, and that they think, oh, this guy, he's friendly looking, he's got a smile on his face, and he wouldn't necessarily have a smile on his face. It's a little bit like, you know, perceptions of a dolphin that we have. Dolphins do look friendly, but they're not necessarily smiling all the time. Now, the reason I'm flicking back and forth is being the organised artist that I am, I did not make a little detailed notes or sketch to have beside me. But he's only a page flip away, so it's fine. I can flip back and forth. Yeah. So I'm filling him in. Yeah, his ears might be a little bit bigger and might have slight variance in his stripes, but it's okay too. Yeah. So, and I also thought about his facial features and his bodily colours. So I think these pink spots on him, they should blush maybe, if going back to what I was thinking with his facial structure, his facial markings being up tilted, in that he sort of looks like he's constantly happy or smiling. For that, for his species, I would think it would make more sense that his these facial colours that he has, they should be the ones that really indicate emotion, i.e. they should be the ones that blush. So potentially one day, if he's had a hard day in the battalion, the Sealy battalion at that, he'll blush a pink, these maybe a lighter pink or a darker pink, and they actually indicate maybe anger. Or another day when he's had a particularly good day, maybe they blush and they indicate excitement or happiness. But yeah, so I think the facial stripes and the coloration, that would lead into that a little bit more. I prefer the idea that he can blush, and that he can sort of portray how he's feeling without the need of a lot of facial expressions. So what I'm going to do next is I'm not going to worry about this weapon here, so I'm just going to ink him in. So this is a very light sketch. On the other page, not that I made a mistake, I didn't, but sometimes you make a piece of art and you're not that happy with it, so yeah, I wasn't that happy with how his features were seemingly going, so I made this one instead. And yeah, there's a few, it's rough and ready, as to say. And I'm just going to ink it in, and then we'll hopefully be able to stick it in. I do have a silver Posca. I might actually do the weapon too. Rattly box. Yeah. So this is, I work also in Posca, so my Posca doesn't want to work today. Yeah, sometimes I find, oh, there's another Posca. I'll use that. Sometimes they get a lot of gunk on them, and I keep saying how much I hate that word. But it is a word applicable to Poscas, that they do get a lot of, yeah, gunk on them. And you just need to keep cleaning them. And yeah, so I'm using to line him, I'm using a Unipin Fineliner, a brush nib. I don't use the little chisel nibs. I don't know why, I just prefer these. And when the ink is dry, because there is some light pencil markings visible, I'll probably go over it in an eraser, maybe even a kneaded eraser, because yeah, he's quite spur of the moment, we'll say. Poor Ren, he wasn't, I didn't plan him out very well in his last little sketch. So yeah, so as I say, if you've been following along, well and good. If not, I have lots of OCs, and this little fella came about when I was thinking about, what was I thinking about? Oh yeah, I was doing a sketch of maybe 10-15 minutes, and for some reason something in my brain sort of clicked on the idea of certain animals in real life. They have facial stripes, like antelopes and beaked whales, and it just hit on my brain for some reason. Why not come up with a character that has those sort of similar sort of stripes and look too? And I came up with this guy and a few other characters like him too that I have done in another video. And I thought, yeah, why not? And why not add potentially powers of intuition, or, you know, give him a little bit of pizzazz or magic on the side too. Yeah, so that's another tip actually I would say to anybody, is look to nature. In my opinion, nature is the greatest artist of us all. And if you ever want any inspiration for any creature, any coloration, any design, look to nature, and you won't go wrong. Yeah, so I did, and I came up with these little sort of creatures that have these facial stripes, this appearance, and I liked it, and I thought, why not make a video out of it? So that's what you guys are seeing now. And so yeah, this is Ren. I originally planned that he was not he was a day, and I still might keep that. He's still our day, or oh yeah, they are still a work in progress, as all my OCs are. Yeah, so I was hoping I'd maybe think more about them in the meantime, but sometimes not. Sometimes things fix in my brain and they stay there. Other times, no, it takes a little bit of thinking and teasing. So yeah. So ordinarily when I'm not on film, I'm a little bit more careful in how I depict everything with my OCs. I'm not on camera. Yeah, so in my, when I came up with, a while ago actually, I came up with something called the Sealy Battalion, because I just had this idea that what if there was a Fay realm or a Sealy realm, and in the 1800s they found a seam in our realm, into our world, and they went through and they found in Europe mainly, I would imagine, they found what we were doing in the 1900s, and they thought, hey, organized life and all the trappings that go with that, and they thought, let's sort of emulate that. And yeah, that's where their sense of clothing and fashion and, you know, life may come from too. And maybe ours is influenced a little bit by these mythological creatures that came through in the 1700s, if that makes somewhat sense. There's a little bit of overlap. We might have seen these unusual creatures and we thought, I like their clothing, I like their fashion sense, I like their art sense, so we'll do it too. And there was a borrowing back and forth, and yeah, so that's the loose sort of overarching storyline, or the reason I have of creating odd little beings, creatures, so to speak. Now this Posca pen is a little bit, I should say I'm using Posca 1mm, and it is, sometimes I find the silver with the Posca pens comes out a little bit watery. I don't know why that is. I don't know why it's only for silver, but it is only for silver. Now, Ren, your eye, good sir, or oh dear, they, I'm not sure. I keep telling myself I am sure, but I am not. Any smudges, don't worry about them. Fix them up when you go. Now, one of the pens had a bit of mess with it, so I'm not sure which I am using. I do have two. Yeah. He looks quite well so far, but what I'm going to do is sort of separate his little stripes with yet more stripes. So his features are a little bit complicated, I suppose, in that, yeah, there's a lot of white and a lot of pink and kind of navy required. And I did like the idea that he should have a little pink nose, and going with the idea that his facial features must be uplifted. So his facial, he does have eyebrows like we have eyebrows, but they're sometimes hidden by these kind of markings that arch over his eye. And give him a sort of a happy, sort of an uplifted look. That must be quite annoying for his kind, to constantly maybe have to communicate with others that are less understanding, that guys, I'm not so happy just because I look it. But interesting team. Would put a little bit of shine in his eye. That's another tip too. I sometimes do creatures that I find putting a pupil in their eye nearly takes from them. So sometimes I don't do it, and but to combat that maybe potentially dead look that you might be afraid of getting, I just do 2 little dots of white in the eye, so a shine. Now this part I have to be really careful with his eye, because he has long sort of almond kind of or narrow eyes and big long lashes, so I have to be really careful here. I normally would save this when I'm not filming, but I hope you can see that. I'm trying to edge around the camera. Yeah. And give him little nostrils and little... So yeah, so he does have barbels. Or whiskers even if you want, and I'm going to give him, hopefully this is dry, Posca over Posca. We'll see how it goes. I'm not really a fan of Posca over Posca no, so yeah, maybe not, or maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, so we'll tidy him up off screen. I do believe Posca over Posca or anything of the sort is probably the reason why I need to clean my nibs more, because yeah, they can pick up a lot of oil and dirt and all sorts. But indeed, he is looking an awful lot better now. What I might do is I might actually separate Uniform Wren now with yeah, so I'll go ahead and clip him out, making sure that I'm only clipping 1 page, and off camera I will of course tidy him up, because this is not a page I would normally have in a sketchbook. I've been testing colours out on it too for other pieces, so hence why it's got a lot of pen marks. Here. So I'll go around it very, very roughly first. I would have brought a scalpel and a cutting board, but yeah, I didn't. So are we surprised? And you're seeing a little bit of art for the other side, so I'll quickly cut away to yeah, this is what I'm going to be adding this to. And I was thinking, if it works, leave a sticky tab and have a little kind of doorway, so like that, because Wren, I'm not too happy with you being slightly underdressed, even if it is for the benefit of seeing the rest of your body and those stripes. And I don't know if YouTube will like it either, but there we go. And he's got quite big claws, so it's a little bit difficult to cut around them. That's actually where a scalpel would have been a good idea. Pens, why didn't you think of it? But no, I did not. Here's for being the organised artist that I am. I'm mostly organised, but sometimes takes a little bit, takes the brain a little bit of catching up. Yeah, and I have good material under me that I didn't want to risk with a cutting, even if it has a cutting board under it. Didn't want to risk it, so I said, well, be damned. So hopefully that will, yeah, slightly smaller, but we'll try. And now Yeah, so it is yeah, measuring up slightly this way or that way. Yeah, this way or that way again. So I might actually get, I have a Pritt stick with me, but I might bring a little bit of white tape. Yeah, white tape might work better when I'm doing it. I might do that off camera and do a little short where yeah, you can see the end result. But yeah, so that's going to stay like that, and with white tape he should work out fine. And then up here I had made a sketch, so this is going to be put here, not as a window. That's going to be glued down with Pritt stick. And yeah, so then you're going to see the entire page. I will definitely be uploading it. And definitely I might even make a little short of it. But yeah, that's probably the final part. And I might just, I'll go around Ren here with my white Posca pen. So yeah, so that's really mainly it. And if you like what you see, like and subscribe. There will be more. I upload very regularly, weekly in fact, or I aim to. And there will be lots more OC designs up and coming. So yeah, stay tuned. And thank you very much.